All right, amazing. We are live. I have the co-founder and CEO of Frugal Testing, Frugal Test, the company based in Hyderabad, I believe. You have the headquarters in Hyderabad, right?
Yes.
Rupesh Garg with me on the podcast of the Unpredictably Irrational, where we have 99% conversations, raw conversations about the 1% people who made it and made it something in their own lives, in their own minds, in their own aspirations, right? Rupesh sir, I don't want to go wrong anywhere introducing you because I fear the fact that if I go wrong somewhere, at least even 1%, it will be an awkward conversation going forward, right? So why don't you introduce yourself? Just give us a gist of your background and whatever you did as a part of your curriculum and your career. Just let us know.
Okay. Sure. Sure. So basically, I'm born and brought up in Punjab. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Punjabi. So I've been, and then I did my initially studies in Punjab and my bachelor's degree in Thapar
Okay.
University, Patiala. Then I moved to US on full scholarship. I was a pretty much a record holder in the GRE exam that time.
Fantastic.
So,
Amazing.
and then I did my MS over there and I worked for a couple of years. Then I read during my stay in US, I read a lot about Mahatma Gandhi and a couple of other people, Indian philosophers. Then I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to come back to India and do something for India. I felt staying there is not the right thing. So I came back about 15 years back to India. Then I was involved in some of the social service projects, but I do not think I did a whole lot, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved into my corporate life. After coming here, I worked in corporate companies, different companies. Last one was Bank of America, where I was leading a large global unit in Mexico, in Costa Rica, India, and India and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So majorly this one. And then last 5 years, I've been running this company for exactly 4.5 years, roughly, as a full-time person. Our mission and vision is to be able to globally help customers in their QA journey. So
Okay.
eventually finding bugs early in their life cycle, in the software
Mm-hmm.
life cycle. So yeah, that's a high level introduction. So yes.
So I believe I have checked your LinkedIn and you have very humbly introduced yourself because it's more than a 20 years of experience that you have from across industries, across companies,
Yes.
and even in entrepreneurship, startups, and consulting and product side. So first of all, before going anywhere else to your childhood, to your career, I would love to know what exactly was the idea behind Frugal Testing. If I'm taking the name right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So because QA wasn't very an aspirational role for most of the startups or most of the companies, right? And
Yes.
helping QA people specifically for their QA life cycle and then improving their software life cycle by identifying bugs and stuff. How did this idea come into picture for you in first place? Were you already associated with QA, or is this something that you always wanted to do for your customers?
Good point. Technically, people do may not want to become QA engineers, but it's a
Hmm.
profitable business.
Okay.
Profitability is high in the business, so there is nothing wrong with the QA line. In fact, I was talking to somebody in Hyderabad who has built almost a 5,000 people company in a very almost 10 years. He
Hmm.
said there are more profit margins in QA than in the dev.
Hmm.
Okay, from a business angle. Okay. But if you're a software developer, you are an engineer, you want to obviously be a dev engineer than a QA engineer, because that is where more respect is and more pay is, right?
Right.
But at the same time, QA, many people perceive it to very raw and very raw and low level testing skill. It's not
Hmm.
that way. It is quite complex in the backend. Like for example, we do a lot of production monitoring, we do post production bug analysis, we do AWS consulting, we do QA, we do inside QA, we do multiple levels of QA, which involves my team has right now 60 to 70 tools capability. So it's
Hmm.
a fairly wide spectrum of skills. And finding bugs early in the life cycle is always helpful to any uh, you know uh, any business want to find bugs early in the life cycle, so that it helps them better prepared and lesser cost in the production. So yeah, I think
Hmm.
I never felt that QA is a that much of a wrong profession, though. Yeah, I have many people in my friend circle who are engineering heads and more of development heads. They've sometimes uh, from a skill level you might feel, but see, at the same time you will have to look at profitability angle also.
Fantastic. So you have been associated with Wipro, Bank of America, the
Yes.
Merrill Lynch, right? That side
Yes.
of, and then you have been doing a lot of CSR for example, you are associated with the art of living. Plus, you're
Yes,
also associated with the Toastmaster International, wherein you have a lot of conversations around improving your communication skills and understanding the English language very well, right?
yes.
With all of these diverse backgrounds, why did you choose to get into entrepreneurship in first place, right? Was this something that you had aspired as a kid, or was this something that you thought that I should do this first place, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not just that you weren't doing very well in previous and before starting with frugal testing, right? You had your goal set, you had everything in your place, right? So why entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship is a liberating feeling,
Hmm.
though the journey can get tough on the way.
Yes.
But initially, it's a liberating feeling, and it's owning your own destiny. Because when I was running a lot of good sizable groups for different companies, I felt I am
Hmm.
doing all the work. Companies making
Hmm.
money.
Oh, okay.
So I'm running end-to-end unit. I'm running whole profit and loss unit, which includes technical delivery, resource onboarding, complete hunting, the talent nurturing, delivering to the
Hmm.
client, working on proposal closures, sales cycle closures. So whole 9 yard we are covering for the company, but company is keeping us on the payroll and not
Hmm.
giving us a part of their journey, part of their equity. So
Right.
that was my take initially. And then obviously all these things which I've done, art of living, Toastmasters, even my lot of other social service projects, those have been foundational blocks.
Right.
You got it. Like I wanted to acquire those skills, so I acquired as the time
Hmm.
has gone. Even now, I'm trying to acquire more skills in financial markets. Because
Hmm.
what I'm understanding that as the market is moving further, you should be more and more well equipped to understand major top 10 economies. Hence, you will understand where the market is moving. Your
Hmm.
comprehensive ability to not understand Indian financial market, but top 10 major economies will really make you better placed.
Definitely.
You know,
Correct.
that way. Yeah,
Fantastic.
that was like my journey point,
Trigger
yes,
moment.
trigger moment sort of.
Yeah. So when you talk in Punjabi or Hindi, you very well sound like the toned down version of Ashneer Grover, because you are into the same field of entrepreneurship, but you are very well humble and toned down about it. So
Okay,
that's fantastic to know.
sure.
I hope you are following the recent trends around startups and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, to some extent I follow.
the
Yes.
fantastic startups are coming out, recycling stuff, and then uh, improving the life cycle of everything that a certain company does is something that a lot of problems are being solved in that case, right? I hope you also follow Product Hunt and stuff, because they release amazing products every week and
Yeah,
even
product
every
and
day,
type. Yeah,
right?
product and type
Fantastic.
follow.
So,
Vertically.
what exactly are your thoughts about the startup scene in India as of now? Because it has taken up, or it has taken a great momentum since last 5 years, I believe, right? And then it is anyway going to go very much ahead just after the pandemic ended, right? It has taken up like fantastic potential as of now. So, what do you think about it? Like, is this the competition that's going to go ahead, or it's something that you are looking forward to, step into?
Yeah, I feel the startup market will grow only in India
Hmm.
because talent is available. Money to some extent is available, though I feel again uh, capturing your Series A, Series B funds is again a little different game.
Hmm.
But yeah, but market to go. Indian market has a average GDP growth of about 8% for the next 10 years predicted, 10 to 15 years. So
Right.
it's a pretty solid place to be in now. Obviously, if you live in US, like I lived in the initial part of it, there are little different advantages. But even in India, you have pretty much all advantage. If you're working the night, you have all the advantages of US in India.
Hmm.
Uh, you can virtually set up whole office out of India, looking like it's a US office.
Right.
You got there is nothing much, and then you have a lot of people to help you. You have a secretary, you have office boys, you have cooks, you have everybody taking care of you. You only have to do the business or job.
Right.
You know, like
Correct.
peripheral part you are not doing. But I mean, say driver is there, EA is there. Everybody is doing everything else. You are only doing your core job.
Mm.
That is where you are having a lot of more time in India to put yourself on more skills for yourself.
Mm.
You have a lot of free time. You got it.
Right. Right.
So that way. So
I mean, uh, sir, starting up mustn't have been very easy for you, right? Because you were very seasoned in the form of corporate environment. You were very much seasoned in the form of consulting and advising, and then taking taking one strategy from 0 to 1 for some of these companies, right? But was it very difficult for you when you were just starting up with frugal testing, or it went very well initially and then it went ahead like no nothing else, right? Was it very difficult or was it quite easier than you
it was
expected?
difficult. I think changing your habits was to some extent difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have very little money coming in, and you have a lot of money going out, there's a lot of difficulty to manage both the things, in and out. Um, so yeah, I would say it has been quite up and down journey. Then COVID one came, it was very scary, and then COVID two was okay. Now last year after COVID two was over, then we felt a wave of resignations.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of people are moving out because the market was so much hot. So yeah, I think it has been all the time. Now this year there is a separate challenge of acquiring new business. That's a challenge
Mm-hmm.
because now market is slowing down. So to
Yes.
acquire new clients is more difficult. Yeah, I think challenges are all the time, but it has not been an easy ride for us. I
Mm-hmm.
would say,
Any anecdote, any stories that you would love to share from your starting days of frugal testing? Is there anything that you would love to share with your audience? Something like that.
I'm to see what I feel. We also started from a garage. We now have a decent office, I feel,
Mm-hmm.
and a good number of employees now. In a sense, uh, it is sort of like building by blocks, and then versus running a job is you are going into a very defined setup by somebody else, and you just have to execute the work. So I think, like for example, when we registered the company, it was only at our house only. Okay.
Okay.
We didn't
Mm-hmm.
even have an office, only one
The
small.
address was given of your house.
No, no, our office was in a house only.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
there was no actual office.
Amazing.
Everybody sitting together only. So,
Right.
so there were, I think, 3 or 4 people total. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that way, uh, I feel that slowly we are growing. We are learning how to build blocks, because a successful business is run by 4 factors. I see that way: HR plus operations, complete talent hunting, talent retention, operational matters, financial matters, everything. And number two is marketing. You should be able to market the product or service. Number three, sales. Number four is delivery. All
Mm-hmm.
four have to work together. The better you're mastering the art of all the 4 boxes well,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and all the 4 boxes have a lot of nuances in
Right.
the internal, a lot of technology nuances, a lot of people nuances, kind of people needed to run those functions. So you have to master that one, because, like for example, a technology person like me, I was only in the delivery box. I was
Okay.
not in
Correct.
the marketing, sales, and HR and operations. That is not our
Mm-hmm.
headache. That was run by others. So we are only doing tech delivery. So we understand that box well, but other 3 boxes we are unaware.
Mm-hmm.
So a thread has to run through all 4 boxes. But if you're able to pass the thread only through one box, then other three boxes are opaque. Your
Mm-hmm.
business will fail.
Correct.
Not that you're not talented or skilled, but you did not know how to crack, how to penetrate through the rest of 3 boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Amazing.
that way, like I know one person, she was HR lady. She also
Mm-hmm.
started her HR consulting. So she was not able to crack the marketing part.
Right. Right.
She could
Mm-hmm.
hunt people. She could recruit people for a company. But
Mm-hmm.
now first she has to hunt for clients.
Correct. Correct.
You got it.
Right.
So
So
that
now that you know that you need a lot of dynamicity in a certain dynamic people in your company or rather in your startup to run a certain function. It's not just about if you are very well equipped with marketing aspects of your role, but you would certainly be also understood. I mean, well versed with the sales part of your job or the product part of your job as well, right? So because the demand is very much of a all rounder person kind of increasing these days.
yes.
What type of talent do you personally hire for frugal testing? What are these aspects that you see in a certain candidate?
See, I would say first of all, there is like a story, I think, of Bill Gates or Premji, that
Mm-hmm.
would you hire a person with the skills or would you hire a person with willingness? Okay,
Amazing. Right.
okay. There is, in fact, I forgot. So the thing they were saying that we would like to hire a raw person, but a high energy, a willing person,
Mm.
rather than a very reluctant and very already built up mindset person. You know, so or a very laid back person.
Correct.
So that quality I feel is very important for you to grow. That you should not be laid back and uh, you know.
Hmm.
And number two is obviously respective skills. You know, your good communication skills, your good written and verbal skills, your respective like coding skills, technical skills, or your marketing tool skills, sales skills. Like according to the department, you know, HR skills, how better you can hunt from the market. What is the power of your own network? What are the knowledge in the different tools in that segment, like in the marketing, in
Right.
HR, in the sales, in the technical tool side, because everywhere tool set is different. So, but number one, foremost is I would say willingness to learn and willingness to be molded into a new role. That is
Right.
where I feel a person
So
that is
somebody who's very flexible in their, acquiring skills, new skills, or
yes,
rather, so it may be possible that you have a certain set of skills, but sometimes you may not know a certain skill set while joining a certain company, right? And then it's also decided by the factor that how early this person is trying to learn, or rather is willing to learn these new skills that they are only finding at Frugal Testing or Microsoft or Amazon, right? So if I'm joining a company, I should be willing to learn as earliest, and then be flexible with the environment, will be flexible with the ideas that these companies are implementing, right? These products are implementing. So yeah, it must be fantastic to grow and learn from Frugal Testing and the people around, I believe, right? Uh, do you believe in a certain company culture for yourself, right? Or what kind of culture will I be able to see if I end up joining, or will I if I end up meeting people at Frugal Testing, or coming to the office? So what kind of culture do you think, or do you think it will be essential for a certain company to grow as faster?
yeah. I think tagline in the culture angle tagline we have defined for our high performing happy teams.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is a tagline we have given as from the culture angle. While both are difficult to maintain at the same time. When people are happy, they want to be low performing. If people are high performing, they are stressed out. So our we are trying to be build a culture which is evenly balanced,
Hmm.
high performance and happy teams, and then obviously, obviously we are having a very open culture. I feel because most of people can work at have access to a lot of data, and they
Right.
pretty much know the whole vision of the company or their department. Nothing is hidden from them. So
Hmm.
it's a pretty much open culture. And number two, which I have seen a lot of people talking about us, is that they feel there is a lot of room to grow. Like I don't know if you know, but a company called Keka. Keka,
Yes,
which
KKHR, yes.
is raised a very large fund. He also was talking in one interview. He said that we are pushing the person to perform one or two level above at the level they are hired with us.
Hmm.
Okay. So hence their growth is going to immense. Whether they work with us for the long term or not, that's secondary. But their career will be set if they
Correct.
work with us for a year or two. So
Right.
same thing with us. When somebody is working in HR, they are not only just doing a trivial HR, they are doing complete whole end-to-end cycle of performance management, and then
Hmm.
they're doing external hunting also, hunting of different roles also, and then using of different tools to hunt for those kind of people, and
Hmm.
then understanding the software angle of hunting process. So all of that one HR person is able to do, which is not easy for a large company setup.
Hmm.
Because in HR, either you will be generalist or you will be recruiter. You will not be both.
Correct. Correct.
But here you're both.
Okay.
You got it. Because
Yes.
when there is too much of a lot of internal work, team management, fun
Mm.
events, performance management, they will do that also. But when that work is over, then they start hunting. What is there?
Mm.
So they start learning how to use LinkedIn, a lot of other software tools to hunt for talent. Then their skills are eventually growing a lot faster. Uh, that is where that is where startup also wants you to be. They cannot hire so many people, right? For every small role, that I will hire
Right.
one good, I'll hire one operation manager, I'll hire one HR manager. They will say, okay, all three, one person can only do.
Hmm.
You
Correct.
got it. So same thing with other tech roles or marketing roles. there will be not much differentiation of roles. But
Right.
in that one, the little problem comes to the person who's doing, the complexity of their work increases for them.
Hmm.
Okay, but at the same time, thrill of learning new things grows very fast, and person
Hmm.
grows way too fast.
If I know that I'm learning something very new every day, I'll be more willing to show up at that job, right?
Yes.
Oh, amazing, amazing. So that's good to know about the culture of frugal testing when they are pushing or their employees to learn different things at the same time, right?
See, that is why after a year or two, people are getting 2 times, 3 times packages after working.
Yeah.
Right? No, otherwise, how somebody can grow so fast? Because the environment gave them that thing.
Right.
Obviously, it requires you to be hardworking with us. It's not that
Correct.
it's laid back job. It's not a
Hmm.
chill job. It's a job to be at alert with
Mm.
need to done every day with alertness. But within a year or two, you see way too much of maturity level differences.
Mm. There's a term of finance is spoken very well in the startup industries, right? You either start up via VC, you raise some money, and then you either bootstrap. How was it for frugal testing? Was it completely bootstrap, or you had your share of financial support from your either family or some VCs or some, friends or advisors? How was
No,
it for you?
we didn't have any fund, honestly speaking, any financial support.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we have done ourselves.
Amazing.
So it's been a new again a new department for us, because learning how to do financial management, I have never done it well. So over the years, every year I'm getting better. I'm
Mm-hmm.
finding I'm becoming a little bit of finance guy also. So, so because see, most of the numbers you have to store in your brain only or in your diary. You will not have one like a finance manager in your office who will be doing everything for you.
Right.
Uh, so that way we are getting better. Like I never knew profit and loss statements. Financial projection, next 2 year roadmap, 5 year roadmap, profitability metrics, retention metrics, all that metrics. Now I remember very clearly: cost of the employees, cost
Right.
of acquisition of customer, lifetime value of customer. All the data is
It's like you're immediately equipped with five different hands at your disposal, and then you have to work with all those six, seven hands when you're
yes.
working at a startup, right?
Yeah, that's what the point I'm trying to say. That in a bigger company, you will be skilled into one direction, but
Correct.
a smaller company, you skilled in multiple directions as per the
Mhm.
need.
Right, right. Amazing. Sir, I won't bombard you with a lot of questions regarding the startup and frugal testing. I would love to know how was Rupesh as a kid? Like, were you always the first bencher, or were you the last bencher secretly studying for your exams? How were you?
No, I think no. I think I was academically okay, but I was a very
Mhm.
silent boy, so I would not even speak in front of anybody.
Your share of confidence when you joined college, or even you went to the US, right? So how was that transition for you? Like going from a small city of some small town of Punjab, and then ending up in a different environment altogether.
Yeah, it was a different. It was a big change in my life.
Mhm.
Especially, I never knew how to speak in English when I landed in US.
Amazing! Oh my God! So these days they don't even allow the visa, I believe, right? If you
No,
don't
that
know.
much I knew.
Okay.
Two, three lines you have to speak. Thank you, ma'am. May I come in? Ma'am, please. Then thank you. Bye. She will say your visa is stamped. You don't need to even understand whether she said or not. She's putting one stamp. You can just read it. Okay,
Okay.
she stamped it. So, it was difficult for me initially because I will think in Punjabi, then I will speak in English.
Right.
So there will be like lag in my communication. I'll be like
Mhm.
I will think a while, sort of thing. By the time other person may lose patience, with me. So,
That happens. No, I can completely relate with that situation, honestly, because initially, when I started with the podcast, I thought, will I be able to hold on conversations? Will I be able to, listen to the other person, what are they talking about, and, form my conclusion about the things that they are talking about. But eventually, you certainly learn. It takes time, but you do learn. How long were you in the US? Like how long
I
were
think
you
six
abroad?
years. 6 years in US. So
Okay.
in fact, that is why I joined Toastmasters over there. People
Ah,
suggest.
right.
you have problem in communicating, you should join those. It will help you. It did help me. Then
Okay.
I got involved in art of living also. That also helped me from meditation angle,
Hmm.
make you more calm and better, healthier lifestyle.
You had your Swadesh moment, and then you came
Yes,
back to.
sort of Swadesh movement only you can say.
Fantastic.
So they were like, it was not me. There were a lot of many other people also part of our group. Okay,
Hmm.
we felt we should go back. There's not much value in staying here. We are slaves of corporate America.
Right.
We should not be staying there. We should be like adopting some villages and then uh, turning them into model villages, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, that kind of uh, thinking we developed, or we did some work also. It's not that we did not do. We contributed some money. We gave a lot of time uh,
Fantastic.
for a couple of years, in fact. So
Are you still continuing with that CSR part of your life, or it's at least at hold as of now?
not that much, I would say. I
Mhm.
would say now my CSR is only helping clients or our employees.
That's a good plug, sir. That's a good plug about your entrepreneurship startup. Yeah.
No, someday I think what am I doing in life? And I think no, we are
Mm.
generating jobs. It itself is a so much service to nation.
Right. Right.
We are
Fantastic.
giving a purpose to so many jobless people.
Hmm.
So and clients are getting work done from us at low rate card, when where the market will not even offer them. So
Hmm.
that itself is a service. May not be poorest to of the poor,
Right. Correct.
okay, but still it is service to other people where we are not getting what we deserve in return, but
Hmm.
we are giving them, obviously.
Correct.
So
Correct. You sound very humble, sir, with all these answers. Honestly, I wish I had met you earlier. We
no,
we would have had a
still in
great.
touch even now.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your plans with Frugal Testing? Although, like, any plans that you have for around 5 years now, or expansion plans, or more offices, or more employees, or more testing labs, or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
Any.
obviously our plans are definitely in 2 to 5 years we want to be a sizable company, easily like 200 people plus.
Okay. How many are there are currently?
Roughly we are 30 people,
Array,
33 people.
amazing, amazing.
And we want to be like easily 200 people plus. And then later on, we want to enter into SaaS segment, SaaS,
Okay. Yes.
uh,
Subscription-based models.
subscription based model software. That is, and I want to enter only not a subscription based model like Urban Clap, Uber kind of thing, which again has a lot of backend
Difficult.
human manpower, dependency, but only pure play software services, software SaaS as a service.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, I mean, that is where we started this company as.
Correct.
The
Mhm.
company was initially started as a SaaS, but later on we pivoted into services. But after 2 to 5 years, I feel still I'm on the me and Bhati both are on the learning journey how to build all the four blocks well for a
Mhm.
services company, and it can still take few years more to
Mhm.
master all the four blocks. Once you mastered those four blocks, then you can build even another organization freshly within a couple of years,
Right. Right.
which even might take for this journey might take 10 years, but next journey might be 2 to 3 years,
Okay.
because
Mhm.
what I mean to say, your speed will be like 5 times. Then when you build a third company, you might be like 10 times. When you build
Right.
a company, you might build in like 6 months.
Correct.
Uh,
Mhm.
that is why when you see many people building so fast, they have not built it's not their first venture in their life.
Definitely. Correct.
It looks like first venture because they have not told the media or something.
Correct.
But they
Correct.
have done a lot of mistakes in the back
Mhm.
end, which are not
Mhm.
visible to you, or never came on the LinkedIn ID, or never came on the Google searches. But
Mhm.
they have done like if you look at Sachin Mansala,
Yes, I was giving the same example. Flipkart, and then now Navi.
oh my God, so big.
Yes. Yes.
This time he
Even.
managed media also. See, nobody talks negative about him.
Yes. Yes.
You got it last time in the Flipkart. There was a lot of drama around him.
Mhm.
You got it, like positive and negative. But now he silently became a unicorn. Nobody knows even that
Yes,
it's
and even it's all bootstrap. Like, he himself contributed his
yeah.
share to there, and then he's, I believe, the 90% shareholder of that company.
Oh,
Imagine the extent that he has, or ideas that he has for Navi, and then
yeah.
the ideas that he implemented or experiences that he implemented from Flipkart, or rather, he was also associated with Amazon at some point, right? Because
Yeah.
Flipkart, Sachin Bansal, that group came from Amazon, and then
Yes.
they established Flipkart. So, these experiences play a huge role when you're starting out with new companies again. If you are also aware of Jack Dorsey, right? He
Okay.
was the co-founder of Twitter, right?
Twitter. Yes.
And now he built a financial payment company called Square, which he scaled in around more than, like, just in a year, right? It's as large as Twitter it is right now, right? So
Okay.
these guys are amazing when they are building one company, and then they have these experience of building some more companies in their lives. uh, any other stuff or roadmaps about Frugal testing that you would want to share with me or for the audience? Maybe related to hiring amazing people, or you know getting into different arenas of testing.
No, I mean, arenas of testing we are already there. Only thing is, which I can give on through this podcast. We are still always hiring. If somebody want to apply, they can continually keep on applying to us. We are always hiring for good people
Hmm.
who are looking for challenging work, and
Right. Initially I was kind of reluctant on getting on the podcast, just because the industry that I'm working in, I'm associated with Headspin. I don't know if you are aware of
I
it,
don't know. Yes, yes,
right? So at some point we are kind of competitors, I believe.
yes,
So I had a
yes.
talk with my manager. I had a talk with my CRO, Iravi sir. He told me that, you know what? When I was in India last year, I had a talk with the CEO of browser testing. Right? It's always a matter of learning something new from our competitors, no matter how big or small they are, or no matter what position or what industry or what clients they are pursuing. So yeah, I came here just for learning, and I hope I get some guidance from you as well. Right?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sir. I know you guys. I think Brazil Stack and Headspin are direct competitors with each other.
Yes.
Ours is not that much of, I would say, honestly speaking, that direct competition, because we are
Mhm.
in service, you guys are in product. In fact, I had a meeting with one of your sales head in London. I forgot his name. About 2 years back for partnership, but
Okay.
unfortunately,
Okay.
we never did much after that. But that time we were evaluating for a partnership that time.
So every startup founder or every entrepreneur has his own idols, has his own people who they look up to. What were those few people that you personally are inspired from, or always look up to when it comes to starting up or doing something new? It doesn't matter if they are from the same industry, but somebody who you personally look up to.
I think I look up to three, four people. One is like I think art of living is big part of my life.
Hmm.
Guruji Shri Ravi Shankar, I look up to him. I read a lot about him, watched a lot of video, met him also many times. And number two, these days I look up to Narendra Modi ji.
Hmm.
I feel he's a very, very transformational leader. He can cut through a lot of issues.
Mm.
People cannot stop him.
Definitely.
He's sort of unstoppable guy. And then I look up to him, Steve Jobs. I feel he was a guy with no clutter. He believed in very simple philosophy. Even when he died, his Apple company was not his, but
Right.
the name Apple is equal to Steve Jobs is even known now.
Yes. Correct.
A lot of people made money on him,
Mm.
while he remained committed to the idea of Apple.
Hmm.
So that's why still people, I think when he died, he hardly owned 2% of the company,
Right.
uh, versus Bill Gates, who owned major part of the Microsoft. So yeah, these three, four people I always, look up to,
Mhm.
in a major sense. Uh,
Right.
come direct to the point. So that is how I come direct to a point.
Amazing.
So many people find me also blunt and rude also sometimes,
Mhm.
because I directly get to the point. I don't go around the bush.
Mhm.
And, but when I looked at his style of communication, I felt I'm also like him.
Mhm.
So,
You
so
know,
I feel there's nothing
there
wrong.
there are a few downsides of being blunt and to the point, but the only upside is that you get things done. Right. That's the end,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, that's the aim of a certain founder or a certain people who's trying to get stuff done from their teams or from their
Yeah.
company, from their product. Right. This is good to know about you.
Yeah.
right?
Even no, it's not about being rude only. It's about
Yeah.
being direct and upfront. And then the same thing I'm trying to implement in my sales calls also. I'm
Mm-hmm.
finding it helpful. People directly come to a point with me. Trying to finish up a lot of things in 8 9 hours in the day. You
Mm-hmm.
have to come to the point.
Correct.
Otherwise, you will can keep on holding meetings with your team, with your customers, with your clients, other people. When there is not much going to happen. Only polished language we can keep on using. But
Mm.
even I'm so that way I feel.
There
That
is something new kind of I have learned, and I have realized that the more blunt you are, the more to the point you are, you save a lot of time of your life. You save a lot of
yeah,
time of
and
your
save
day.
their time also.
Yes, correct.
You're wasting their time also, unnecessarily talking and not coming to the point.
Mm.
So
So there's a saying out there in the market or in the startup environment that you marry your co-founder, right? No
yes,
matter who they are, you are associated with them for the life, or it's like a relationship that you have with them, and then you
yes,
have to go together. But in your case, I believe you are already married to your co-founder, right?
yeah, yeah. So
So
yeah, we both started only. So
okay, so you both started it, or it was her who initiated this conversation, or you were the one who started this conversation around
no, she
Frugal?
started actually. She
Hmm.
started earlier, about
Fantastic.
6 years back. She started off. Or maybe 7 years, 6.5 or 7. So actually, there was one more guy with us
Okay.
initially. Okay, we three were part of it. He was CTO, I was sort of like a CEO, and then she was more a CPO kind of person. She
Mhm.
was a TK. So, but he lost patience within 6 months.
Arey.
So he said nothing is coming up. I said there is something was going to come up very soon.
Nothing happens in 6 months. You even if you want to go profitable, you have to wait for 10 years these days.
Yeah. So so nothing happens in 6 months, 1 year. And in fact, we were doing part time that time. Okay,
Right.
only Bhati was doing full time. So so he left. It was a shock for me for a few months. I was quite disturbed. But then we moved on. And then obviously, then every year there were new shocks.
Mm.
So you keep on moving on and then readjusting your style of working, your style of thinking, and then adjusting to that new environment. um, yeah. Uh, yeah,
Now at
Bharti
this
started, so
now at this
Bharti started.
point at this point you are completely full time. Both of you
Yeah,
are
both of
done.
us full time. Yes, yes.
Amazing, amazing. Any
Yes.
anecdote from working from home with your wife around, and then with also your sometime with your team around? Anything that you personally faced or you would love to point out about?
No, I'm to see working with your partner can be fun and boring also because you're meeting same person at home and office also.
Right, right.
So, but at the same time, there is a more open communication, and
Conversation.
you can talk more openly because on the weekend also you can talk and all that.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it is good and bad both ways, I would say. So,
Mm.
working with your partner as a life partner plus a business partner, sort of.
Right, right, right. Uh, I would also love to know about your experiences from different industry that you have been associated with, right? Uh, could you just highlight about those points as well? For example, you started when did you start? Which company did you start? And then how did you scale to get into different industries? And then now
Okay.
you are into this. Like, I would love
Yeah,
to
yeah,
know
I
about.
can. That I always tell about people. See, I started in manufacturing because I'm a mechanical engineering student.
Oh,
Okay.
okay,
So I did my BTech in mechanical engineering in 99, and I did my first internship in 98, about
okay.
25 years back. Okay. So I was placed in one of the best manufacturing plants in India that time in Yama motorbikes. In
Yama.
Yama
Oh,
motorbikes that
fantastic.
time.
Right.
So Yama that time was like
Yeah, big
uh,
thing.
the
Right.
big thing. Now it maybe you can say Royal Enfield or is the big thing
Mm.
in Indian market, but that time Yama was the big thing. So I was placed over there, and then I always tell people now also that then I worked full time for about 6 months in a chemical plant
Mhm.
after job after passing out from India. Okay. So then I always tell people, hey, IT people are lucky; they only work 5 days a week. We were used to work 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
in that sense, I feel IT job gives you more comfort and more time for brainy work
Mm.
rather than doing very operational task.
Mm.
So which
So
is always
less
part.
physicality and more mentality is involved.
Yeah, yeah. So Yeah, but yeah, you're right. The same time, you're right. It's more sitting job.
Yeah.
You don't walk or move around too much. In manufacturing plant, whole day you will keep on walking. So,
Right.
so yeah, then obviously I worked in large banks also, some insurance companies, uh, and then in India, I think majorly I worked with services companies or bank, you know, investment
Mhm.
banks kind of thing. Yeah, majorly I worked with a lot of quite a bit of banks, IBs majorly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so working for banks and then mechanical, chemical companies, and then now working for frugal testing. There's a lot of transformations
yeah,
involved in your industry experiences again, right?
yeah. It is. I agree with
There
you.
must be difficulties handling stakeholders and then customers in that sense, because you come from a different background and then now you're coming in a completely IT SaaS plus background, wherein you have a different set of stakeholders to manage, right? Different set of people to manage.
Yeah,
Was
agree.
was that kind of a challenging task for you, or you kind of honed it by the time, right?
You keep on getting better every time. Like when we started SaaS, when I look at it, why our SaaS failed, I
Mm.
realize, hey, I did so many mistakes while building SaaS.
Right.
Okay, so only thing is by reflecting and keep on continuously reading and learning, you keep on getting better only. Like for example, you said it right. I worked in a auto manufacturing plant. Auto manufacturing plant is very different than a chemical manufacturing plant.
Right.
Okay, then I worked in a research lab in US. My initial 2.5 years while doing studies in 3M research lab. It was a paper industry. Then paper
Mm.
industry is again very different than other two industries.
Right.
Okay. Then I worked in the insurance industry. Then I worked in uh, some of the banks over there, and then some government defense agencies also.
Hmm.
Okay. Then I worked with Morgan Stanley. Then
Okay.
I worked with some other different vertical of clients. I would say G in India
Mm.
through Wipro. I worked with G. G is very tough client, very
Right.
process driven and extremely output driven.
Hmm.
They're sort of quite ruthless in their output. But they have some very good things in their processes, which
Hmm.
any company can learn. Okay, means like doesn't need to be G kind of in business, but their framework you can deploy in your company,
Right.
um, and then you can do also. Then I worked in bank. Bank is again different,
Mm.
and then banks in India versus in US are again very different.
Right. Right.
They they have a different style of working. So
Hmm.
that I agree
So
with.
it will come down to applying these different experiences across different industries and across different stakeholders into one place, which is right now that you are running, right? You were
Yeah, it's maturing as you go further. I would say it's
you
maturing.
were also a mentor at some point, right? You did it for around. You're still a mentor, like global mentor for some of these startups and
Yes.
industries. What is your style of mentoring? Like, what do you do as a part of your mentorship role with most of these
So
companies?
many some people sometimes people approach me for their overall growth, career growth, or the startups journey. Then
Hmm.
whatever I have learned from my side, I keep on telling them or specific help if they need. Like for example, like I was saying, 4 boxes. In a layman, the whole business is 4 boxes only.
Hmm.
But to run them all 4 boxes perfectly is very difficult.
Correct.
So that is the issue everybody is stuck in. When people are able to solve all the 4 boxes very successfully, they explode. They don't grow.
Mm. Right.
They just start operating at a very different level. Like if they're doing 1 million this year, next year they will be doing 5 to 10.
Mm.
Next year they will be doing like 50 to 100. Like they're 5 times growing, 10 times they're growing every year. So you then obviously each box has, according to industry, also has its issues.
Right.
Like if you want to sell in a US market, small size market, it's a challenge, different challenge. Small to mid size again different challenge. In
Hmm.
Indian market, when you want to sell to small market, it's a different challenge, and the small to medium is a different set of challenges. Budget affordability, customer psychology, many factors play a role. Economical cycles also play a role now.
Mm.
Sort
Right.
of thing.
There are challenges with the B2C market, and then there are different set of challenges with the B2B market that you are in, right?
Very different,
Yeah.
quite different. B2B, B2C is very different. Yeah.
And plus, Indian market being the price sensitive, risk sensitive, there are their own challenges with
Yes.
finances, right? Amazing. So there's a lot to learn from these experiences that you had across these industries, right? Any
Yes.
ideas or any guidance around the current economic scenario, whatever is happening with these big tech, right? There were 12,000 layoffs just recently with Google, and then they
Yes.
have been laying off at Amazon and Microsoft. Um, any advice for people who have been laid off, or somebody who's struggling with these markets as of now, or maybe also to the company founders who might listen to us at some point? Like, do you have any points around it?
No, I'm you know, I don't know if you have saved enough. You can become your own money manager sort of thing, manage your own money in stock market or mutual funds. Otherwise, keep on putting your time in different startups. Even like I always tell people, if you're free, just give your time free to any startup for a couple
Mm,
of months. You will learn a lot of internal dynamics of a business.
mm,
And rather than sitting idle, you can do that kind of. Then you can focus on your health and a lot of work with kids and other stuff at home.
mhm,
So we are always having, like, or we can take a vacation to, you know, some outdoor. Like I do, I like to do outdoors. So
right,
for me, idle time off is doing some outdoor. You know,
right.
so so different ways people can use. Someday market has up and downs. Say even now when people are laid off, and I feel, I mean, they have a lot of options. I feel,
Mhm,
sitting at home only they can do a lot of things. They don't need to go to office per se
correct.
to contribute anywhere these days, even in India.
Mhm. Right. Just few last questions around how are you doing right now? How's the weather in Hyderabad? Are you enjoying there, or are you planning to shift somewhere else? Like, any plans personally or in your personal life? Are there any plans around it?
No, Hyderabad weather is good. It's not too
Mhm.
cold, not too hot. I feel.
Have you ever been to Pune? Because I this
No, Pune, I lived 3 years.
oh, amazing. What
Uh,
area were you
I
in?
have a flat in the BT Kabde Road.
Okay, amazing, right? So
Got it.
transitions of weather, and then it's getting colder, it's getting hotter. So anything that you personally do for your health, is are there any recommendations for young people like us?
Yeah, health is see health. I feel is even to my son, I'm trying to be careful that he should not be too much on computer. He has
Mhm.
to be outdoor guy.
Yes.
He has to do physical workout like we were used to do. Walking, running, playing is should be a part of your blood. So previously, like my job was more like high flying career kind of thing. You fly here, there, yeah, wo. You're
Mhm.
always in taxi or flights, but you're never physically doing much.
Correct. Right.
So
So being a Punjabi, it's again in your blood that you have to
huh,
go out, you have to be in the nature, be in
yes,
the field or farms, right?
yes, yes.
I mean,
And
that
that is
sounds
part of our nature also because we
yes.
are from small town or village. So that is not something taught to us. It's part of our life.
Do you have any kind of resolutions for yourself for 2023? Did you
Yeah,
decide
I have
any?
got like I want to do get to my 20K run sort of thing,
Oh,
and
marathons,
marathon sort of thing.
right?
5K I'm able to, but trying to
Mhm.
get to 10K. Then cycling. Cycling is one I want to master this year, and then regular badminton. ये वो
Yeah,
we
but
try
I
to.
love badminton.
So
It's a rigorous game.
heavy
Loves.
vigorous game.
Yes.
Within 1 hour you're tired, but you have done a
Yes.
lot of, good amount of workout.
Correct. Correct.
And then I'm trying to promote to people that we can talk over badminton, not in office.
Oh,
We can play and talk office work also.
right.
So why to sit and talk? We can play and talk.
Right.
We can
That's a great idea for a founder. Amazing, sir.
Yeah,
I
we
should
can drive
suggest
and
this.
talk. I
Right.
say we can drive down to another hill. We can
Mm,
talk over there.
right.
So
So,
there is something stopping. We can
in,
talk anytime.
include more physicality in your regular meetings.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a
Basically,
fantastic
do
idea.
something out,
Right.
physical or walk or exercise. Do something together.